Hello, this is Tomlin from TomlinHarmonicaLessons.com, and today's lesson is to answer the question that I receive quite a lot, both in my classroom and on the YouTube channel. Why does my harmonica sound airy? So there are a few potential reasons for this. I'm going to start with the most likely and most important thing to check, and that is your actual mouth shape. So this is for lip pursing harmonica players. Tongue blockers will do this slightly differently. But basically, if your harmonica is sounding too airy, if you're getting this kind of... we can hear the air as well as the sound of the harmonica, it usually means that you're not closely locked enough with the instrument. So what you need to do is you need to make sure that you're getting the harmonica nice and deep inside your mouth. And that you're using the wet part of your lips to kind of close and make a nice airtight seal on the harmonica. So imagine, what you've got to be thinking is, if you were trying to make like an airtight seal in your hands, what would you do to make that happen? You need to really get things really tight together, and it's the same with your harmonica. So you're going to make this kind of shape with your mouth, and then you're going to put the harmonica into it. Okay? And you want to get it really deep. See? My top lip is covering quite a lot of the top cover plate, and my bottom lip isn't covering a huge amount of the bottom cover plate because I've got it tilted up, and that helps me get the harmonica nice and deep inside my mouth. And that helps get a really good rich tone. You'll find that if you're tilting down the other way, you're more likely to get that kind of airy sound that we're trying to avoid. So if you can play that, like that, play a 2-hole draw, and it sounds like that, you're fine, you're sorted. You don't need to worry about anything else. You should have a great embouchure. If you're struggling with that and finding that you're getting something more like this, we need to tighten things up a little bit. So what you're going to do is you are going to play a 1-2-3 draw chord. I'm actually going to switch to a different harmonica because I'm assuming a lot of you don't have a D flat. So I'm going to switch to a C harmonica for this because you can play along with me. So you're going to play a 1-2-3 draw chord. Still having the harmonica tilted up, put it nice and deep in your mouth. And as you're playing that chord, you're going to push the harmonica out by closing your mouth. Like that. Okay? Now it's quite obscene me doing that on screen. I apologize. So we're going to push the harmonica out until you hear a single note. Okay, and again. Can you see how deep I've got it inside my mouth? You could push further. And you hear how it starts sounding quite thin and not very nice. So that's what you need. Deep harmonica, nice, rich tone. When people say, how do I get good tone? This is how you get good tone. This is the start of it. It's your embouchure. And then you hopefully won't have that airy sound on your harmonica. Another thing to watch out for, particularly on lower keyed harmonicas. So I'm going to grab, this is the lowest key harmonica I own. It's low D, okay? Really, really low. You'll find that if you're pushing too much air through a low key harmonica, then it'll sound quite airy as well. Can you hear all the air around it? So what you need to do is you need to try and use a little bit less air and really try and focus it through the holes. Because if you're pushing too much air through, it's going to push the harmonica out. Make your lips too wide. So really watch that you're not pushing too hard. That's really, really important. And make sure that you're getting the same clean tone that you had on the higher key harmonica. So you've checked that you have a good embouchure, and you've checked that you are not pushing too much air through the harmonica. If you still have issues, now you can start checking your harmonica. So you could have a harmonica that is what we call leaky, and it's this kind of thing. So you'll find that everything's really hard to play. You need a lot of air to play it. And that could be because the comb is leaky. So that's quite common on marine bands, wooden combed marine bands, because the combs will kind of swell and then shrink back down and then leave gaps between the comb and the reed plate, and that makes air leak, and that leads to the airy tone. So you can fix that, you can fix it by sanding down the comb and sealing it with beeswax. That works quite nicely. Or you can fix it by replacing the comb with a solid comb that's completely sealed. You can see there's a link below in the show notes to a video I did about custom combs, and this is one reason to do it. Another thing that could be affecting that is the gaps of your reeds. So I wouldn't suggest mucking around with the gaps of your reeds unless you are incredibly confident. But if you're finding that there's just one note on your harmonica that's just really, really airy, everything else plays fine, but there's one that's really airy, it usually means that the gap is too big. So what you're going to do is you're going to gently try and close the gap of the reed and the reed plate. But just do small increments and test, small increments and test. Don't do a massive change, otherwise you'll end up going too far and maybe damaging your harmonica. So those are all the things to check. Please don't check your harmonica first. Check through everything else. Make sure your technique is good. And if your technique is good, then you can try and see if the harmonica needs any improvement. Thank you so much for watching that. If you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate if you would give it a thumbs up by clicking on the like button below. Make sure that you don't miss out on any future harmonica lessons by subscribing to my channel, because I upload a new lesson every single Wednesday, and sometimes I upload some extra ones in between. And then final thing, if you feel like you could use a little bit more guidance with your harmonica playing to take it to the next level, you should check out my online harmonica school. You can get all the information and find out how you can help out with that by clicking the link below. Thank you so much for watching. See you next week.